Improvisation One Note at a Time, Part 3. This video will focus on moving between chords. And we've gotten beyond one finger playing now. We're going to be using more fingers. We're going to be using more harp technique, because hopefully you've listened, you've done your work, you've learned to hear where does a note want to go, and it's a lifelong process, but you've already worked on that and you're ready to move on to where we're working hands together and we're using a melody and we're using an accompaniment and we're working between the two hands. So when you're improvising, you may find yourself playing things that you don't like. You may find out that some of the things you do just don't sound good. That's okay. That's part of the exploration process. That's what you want to do. If you're never playing anything that sounds bad to your ear, then you're not exploring enough. You're not trying enough new things. There are going to be some things that you'll try that just simply don't sound good. But in the process, you may find and discover a few things that sound great that otherwise you wouldn't have discovered. So don't be afraid to try different things. That's part of the process. So we're going to work in this video with one of the tried and true chord progressions. And this progression has been used for lots of songs. You probably recognize this chord progression already. That is C, A, F, and G. Or if you want to think of it in a different way, which is a better way to think of it so that you can transfer it to other keys, think of it as your starting note, which is 1, skip down to 6, skip again to 4, come up 1 to 5. 1, 6, 4, 5. Now at the bedside, we're probably not going to play this progression in this heart and soul type format. So we're going to change it into a therapeutic style. There's a scale passage. Or you can do some of the patterns that we did. So how do you move smoothly in between these chords? First of all, you want to keep one of the hands fairly simple so that you can concentrate more on the other hand. Because this is going to take a little bit more thinking. In the last videos I was saying get these things so that you don't have to even think about them. With this you're going to have to do a little bit more thinking because you want your melody noodle notes to be compatible with your left hand chords. So you're going to focus a lot on, again, the 1 and the 5 as you're first getting started, because those are your anchor notes. Those are the notes that you'll keep coming back to as you're improvising, as you're noodling, as you're playing and making things up with your right hand. You're going to keep coming back to those home base notes of the chord, or those anchor notes of the chord, the 1 and the 5. So here's your C. And now I'm on the A, so my anchor notes are A and E. And on the F, my anchor notes are F and C. 1 and 5 of the F chord. And on the G, my anchor notes are G and D. So those are the notes that I'll keep coming back to. I'm on the A minor chord, so I want my melody note to land on either A, C, or E, just so I stay grounded, so I stay secure. going to move to the F chord, so my anchor's F and C. I was already on a C, so I might as well repeat it. I'm going to move to a G chord, so I want to play either a G, a B, or a D up here. I'm going to put a few steps in here. And then I'm back to the C. I'm already on the C, so that worked out nicely. So you're always thinking ahead. Always think, what is the chord that I'm moving toward? And if you can think well enough, think, okay, what are the notes of that chord? And move toward those. If it's too hard to think of the other notes of the chord, then think, okay, name of the chord, G, I want to move toward a G. Or name of the chord is F, I want to move toward F. Eventually you'll get so that you'll be able to think of all three notes and be able to get to one of those three notes up here in your noodles. So just scale passages, like we talked about in the first videos. You can always use scale passages.